In Game of Thrones, Tywin Lannister was killed by the imp on the privy. Did anything similar happen in history? My esteemed lord, I am your loyal friend and advisor. Throughout the long course of history, there have been numerous monarchs and kings. Many of them died from illness, old age, or war, but some also met their end in truly unbelievable ways. Today, let us look at the kings who died in bizarre ways. Some of these accounts are from chronicles, while others originate from folklore. Please approach them with discernment. In A Song of Ice and Fire, Tywin Lannister was killed by the imp on the privy. This scene became a classic, and in history, two kings had deaths somewhat similar to Tywin's. The first is Edmund II. He was an Anglo-Saxon, King of England. He died on October 30th, 1016, at only 25 years old. At the time, official accounts did not suggest he was murdered. Not until after the Norman conquest that chroniclers suggested he was poisoned. Then, by the 12th century, a popular legend began to spread, claiming he was shot with an arrow and killed while on the toilet. This rumor is identical to Tywin's death. Another king is George II of Great Britain. He died on October 25, 1760, at the age of 76. Although George II also died on a toilet, his death was not as legendary. By then, the elderly George was deaf and blind, and in poor physical health. On that morning, he woke up and had his hot chocolate, then went alone to his commode chair. A short while later, his valet heard a loud crash. He rushed in and found the king collapsed on the floor. He passed away that same day. Among the past kings of Britain, George II had actually lived a long life. It's said that before him, no British king had lived longer. So, while his death was somewhat dramatic, it was within reason. And another character from Ice and Fire, Daenerys' brother, Viserys III, was crowned by Khal Drogo with molten gold, killing him. This method of death is truly horrifying. However, in history, there was a Roman emperor who may have died in a similar fashion. The Roman Emperor Valerian, in the year 260, during the Battle of Edessa, was captured by the Persian Sasanian Empire. He was imprisoned until his death. In that era, some Roman scholars suggested that during his imprisonment, the emperor was forced to swallow molten gold, which caused his death. Others have stated that the emperor was killed by being flayed alive. His skin was then stuffed with straw and placed inside a Persian temple. Later Iranian scholars have questioned these claims. Of course, the reasons for their conflicting accounts are likely what you'd imagine. Bathing in gold is a cruel torture, but for the Romans, bathing in bathhouses was their favorite leisure activity, especially when seasons change. Your skin gets dry and itchy, like ants are crawling on you. You take off your pants, and they're full of white flakes. Heavy clothing can even trap heat and cause acne. At times like this, you have to use the bestseller I've been using. He-En, sold to 700,000 households. The Polar Shower Gel. It's so good it made the best of the year list. They conducted a 28-day test for acne clearing and oil control. It easily washes away oil, dirt, and body acne. And after rinsing, it's excellent for exfoliation. It washes away all the impurities on your body, giving you a clean, silky smooth back. It even uses a skincare-grade formula with added ginseng and snow lotus and hot spring water, 3 key moisturizing ingredients. After use, your skin is hydrated and smooth, not flaky or itchy. It reduces that tight feeling after showering. Its scent was created by a master perfumer after hundreds of attempts to craft this premium cologne. It gives you an innate sense of nobility, projecting a monarch's authority and honor. After your shower, a faint woody scent remains, warm and stable, providing a strong sense of security. The ladies will fall in love with the scent. There's even a champion edition gift box available, perfect for gifts or for yourself. If you're interested, you should get one. Grab a coupon in the comment section. Buying two is a better deal. A monarch who falls on the battlefield is no coward. To die in battle is the most heroic death for a king. In contrast, dying at the dinner table isn't nearly as glorious. King Henry I of England was the youngest son of William the Conqueror and the third king of the Norman dynasty. He was a short, stocky, and sturdy man. In 1135, on December 1st, at the age of 67, he passed away from an illness. According to historical chronicles, his illness was caused by eating too many lampreys, a rather unsettling type of aquatic creature. In November of that year, he had been hunting in Normandy and was in good health, but within a week of overeating, his condition rapidly declined. However, considering the king was 67, which was an advanced age for the time, dying from a sudden illness was not that strange. It's just that the lampreys, those little creatures, create such a vivid image. That is likely why his death remains so memorable. Less than 100 years later, another king of England may have also died from overeating. That would be the infamous King John Lackland. As for this king's life, we won't discuss it in detail today. Overall, he was a king with a mixed legacy. King John died between October 18th and 19th, 1216. At the time, he was still fighting a war against his barons. King John unfortunately contracted dysentery when he returned to Newark Castle. In Nottinghamshire, he succumbed to the illness, dying at the age of 49. There are various theories about the cause of his illness. Many believe he drank poisoned ale, or that he ate poisoned plums. There are also rumors he simply ate too many peaches. Given the number of enemies this king had, I feel that poisoning is the most likely scenario. As for which story is true, if you are interested, I can open a portal through time for you. Let us jump forward another 500 years. On February 12, 1771, King Adolf Frederick of Sweden died in Stockholm at the age of 60. Legend says it was because he ate a huge feast, leading to his death from either poisoning or heart failure. Many have since embellished the specific contents of that grand meal. It supposedly included lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, smoked herring, champagne, and 14 helpings of his favorite dessert, along with hot milk. Of course, this king was a widely beloved monarch, even though he lacked political prowess, but he was a gentle, modest, and hospitable man. He was a patron of the arts and sciences, as well as a good husband and father. We hope he can enjoy his favorite foods in good health in the afterlife. Food itself can cause illness or poisoning, but eating too much leads to obesity, which can sometimes be fatal. King Henry VIII of England was one of the most dramatic kings in English history. He died on January 28, 1547, at the age of 55. His death was largely due to his severe obesity. In 1536, the once tall, athletic, and handsome king injured his leg in a jousting tournament. After this, he began to gain weight rapidly. His waistline eventually reached 54 inches, and his body was covered in painful ulcers. It is said he needed mechanical devices to help him walk. Later scholars believe he suffered from scurvy, a disease that has a strong link to vitamin C deficiency. I suggest that in your daily diet, you must maintain nutritional balance and supplement with various vitamins. In my view, this king's appearance in his later years was somewhat similar to King Robert Baratheon from A Song of Ice and Fire. Next is King Bela I of Hungary. He died on September 11, 1063, at around 45 years of age, according to the chronicles. During the summer, the king was severely injured when his own wooden throne collapsed. He passed away a few months later. This manner of death is not a good omen. In my opinion, many might believe that the king was rejected by the throne itself. What do you think? Powerful cannons are certainly a source of pride for a king, but sometimes those very same weapons can cause the king's own downfall. King James II of Scotland was killed by one of his own cannons. King James II was a great enthusiast of new types of artillery. In 1460, during a war for Scottish independence, the king besieged Roxburgh Castle. It was the last Scottish fortress still under English control. In order to take the castle, the king imported a large number of new cannons from Flanders. On August 3rd, while he was standing next to one of them, the cannon exploded, killing him. He was only 29. A 15th century chronicler described the scene of his death like this: As the king stood near a cannon, it misfired due to a defect, and the cannon exploded. His thigh bone was snapped in two, and he was struck down to the earth and died hastily. The castle was taken by the Scots a few days later, but they had lost their king forever. Finally, this man was not a king, but a Jarl. However, in the Viking Age, many Jarls could be considered monarchs of their domain. His name was Sigurd Eysteinsson. The Orkneyinga saga records his bizarre death. Sigurd once challenged a lord named Maelbrigg the Buck-Toothed. They agreed to a 40-on-40 battle. However, Sigurd cheated and brought 80 men. He defeated his rival and took his head, but perhaps as karma, while Sigurd rode and hung Maelbrigg's head from his saddle, he rode home in triumph. But one of the severed head's teeth scratched his leg. The wound later became infected, which led to Sigurd's death. This kind of legend fits very well with our general image of Norse sagas. As for whether this story is true, I believe it's very possible that it happened, but was exaggerated in the telling. What do you think? Alright, concerning the fall of kings, do you have any more bizarre stories to share with us? May your king live a long and healthy life, and may your enemy's king choke on water. Until next time.